Howdy folks, it's Anthrich here with another episode of The Bloody Point. We have a second entry in the Starting Out series, which is going to cover Discipline Runes. Now, Discipline Runes are a feature of Crowfall which help out with its character customization. It's actually a pretty interesting system adopted from the old Shadowbane system, I believe. Currently in this game, in this test, Discipline Runes are easily acquired by crafting them with 1 slag and 1 dust. You can see here on the right there are 3 types. We have the Major Discipline, the Mastery Discipline, and the Minor Discipline. Now these runes are ways you can grant additional passives and powers to your character. Some of them are limited by class. Some of them are limited by your ability to use a particular weapon type. I imagine in future we will see race-specific runes as well. There are some in the harvesting category. There will be some coming soon in the crafting category. Here we see a harvesting discipline rune called Villain. What this will do is cause your tools to take durability loss at a slower rate. So at this stage in the game, we're going to be harvesting a little bit more, not doing combat so much, so I'm equipping some harvesting runes. Villain, which will help keep our basic tools from degrading too quickly, and I'm also going to equip what's called the Reaper, which causes pip generation to occur at a faster rate. So every swing, instead of giving half a pip, will give a full pip. That allows you to use your weapon, your pip-based harvesting powers more frequently and do more damage to the node, and that also helps extend the life of the tools. There are some basic descriptions here in-game in terms of what the different disciplines do. The descriptions are limited, however. There is a pretty decent resource site out there created by player Scree called MacLeod.org, which is a wonderful resource for the community. It's searchable, which is fantastic, so you can search on different terms, a certain damage type, a certain class, and so on, and get a full detailing of all the different runes and powers and passives associated with that. I will put a link to that site in the description below. Again, that's MacLeod.org. I highly recommend it. The runes that we see currently in game are not the complete list, of course. There are others which we've seen in some of the live streams that they're developing and planning in the future, but for now this is the set that we have to work with. You'll notice that the runes are coming out in different qualities, even though they're crafted with the same materials, slag and dust. The different qualities do impact the results. You'll notice some of the stats here are coming out as 6.25. If you make the same rune, and if it came out at a lower quality, say common for example, that particular stat would be 5 instead of 6.25. So it will make a difference in release when you craft these in terms of what resources you use, but for now you have no control over that. You're just making them out of slag and dust. So these powers, as you can see, and passives, can be slotted into your spellbook by pressing K. You drag them from the top down to the bottom where they're actually going to be used and assigned to keys. In early game, when you do not have advanced weapons, you do not have a lot of skill training, these powers can make an incredible difference by granting you an additional combat ability, not just in terms of more damage, but actual abilities and things you can do. For example, you can get all kinds of different CC, roots and knockdowns, and other things which are very, very useful early game when your survivability is low and your damage output is low as well. I've set up a particular layout here that I'm familiar with. I would advise people, especially people who play multiple classes, to go with a layout for your powers that is familiar to you. For example, if you play 2 classes that both have ground targeted AoEs, put them in the same slot. It'll highly benefit you in combat. Muscle memory is a great thing. It's good to take advantage of it. So you'll see here I'm going to execute some of these powers. Not doing them on mobs, of course. You don't see the damage numbers, but just to give you an idea of the things that are possible here, you can really expand your abilities through these discipline runes. Again, it's one of the things you're going to want to do early. make those while you're in the beachhead in the starting area. Most people will go from crafting basics to harvesting from the mobs. We're going to show that in a future episode, and these powers will help you do that. Discipline runes are a huge part of the customization system, and they're not to be overlooked. Well, that's another episode of Starting Out. I hope it helps, and that is the Bloody Point. I will see you next time.